Hi guys, and welcome to this video on day 2 for how to solve equations. So these are an equation, so we have letters, terms, and we have number terms. And what we have to do, we have to get it down so it just says x equals and then the number. Solving an equation means find out or solve what the number represented by these letters are. So most teachers recommend you to always look and see if there are two unknowns. In this case they're x's on both sides, and yes there are. So because there is 2, we're going to get rid of the one with the smallest, which you can see on this right hand side there's 3 x's compared to the 6 x's here. So I'm going to go ahead and take away the 3x. So if I take away 3x from there, it's gone. But because this is equals, we've got to remember our equations must stay balanced. So imagine them on a seesaw. So if we take away 3x from this side, we have to do it here. So we'd end up with 3x plus 3, and that is equal to 12. Now, the letters are all on one side. These number terms have to be on the other side. So this one is on the wrong side. So how can I get rid of this plus 3? Well, take away 3. And again, you have to keep it balanced, so do the same to both sides. Giving me 3x is 9. So 3x is a 9. I can just divide both by 3 now to get 1x. Remember, there is a 1 there. And that would be 3. This one's a little bit trickier because most people say, well, this is the smallest number of x's because that's a 3 and that's a 4. But this is a positive 3 and this is a negative 4, so in fact this is the lowest. So to get rid of a negative 4x, I have to add 4x. That would give me 7x plus 1 equals 15 once I've done it to both sides. Now, the letters are here, so this number is in the wrong place, so I have to remove this one. So let's take away 1 to remove the positive 1. Giving me 7x is 14, and then if 7x is a 14, you should be quite comfortable saying that x is 2. If you're not, we are basically dividing by this number, the coefficient, to both sides. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Again, so x is on both sides. This is the lowest, so we need to subtract 3x to get started, giving me this. This number's on the wrong side, so add 2. Now, sometimes I get to this point and I think, well, I must have made a mistake, but I haven't. Normally you would expect this number here to be a multiple of this one, so you can easily divide it. But when you can't, you just got to think what maths you normally do. So here we would divide by 5, because there's 5 x's and we want to find one of them. So we're doing 17 divided by 5, and that's it. You can go into a little bit more detail because there's 3 5s in 17, but there's 3 and 2 remainders, so it's 3 and 2/5. So this is what we call mixed fraction. This is top heavy. Now this one, you'll see that I'm going to be collecting the x's on the right hand side. So if I take away 4x to get rid of this, I will actually end up with this. Now, so the x is on this side, which is absolutely fine, but the numbers, therefore, need to be on this side. So this one's in the wrong place. Take away 10 to get rid of the positive 10. Now, a lot of people struggle with this bit, but if this is where you're starting from, when you take away, you go down the number line. So we're going down a further 10, so we'd end up there. Now, this one does divide, but the signs are different. This is a positive 4, this is a negative, and when the signs are different, it's a negative answer. So we're dividing by 4 there, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. The signs are different, so it's a negative. Now, sometimes they can stretch it a little bit further by introducing some fractions, basically. And don't be scared about fractions, because this is a fraction, and that wasn't scary at all. But there are x's on both sides, but we can't yet do anything about those because this whole side is being divided by 3. So I have to remove this dividing by 3, and that's timesing by 3. So if I times this by 3, what actually happens if I do it like this, they would cancel each other out. If you think of any number, you times it by 3 and then divide it by 3, you'll get back to where you started. So that side would just remove the division, and I've got to times this one by 3. So that's everything by 3. So that's 3 of those and 3 x's. And now we can do the same as before. So this has got the least, so I need to get rid of it. So I'm going to add 3x. That would give me 6 plus 1x if I add 3x onto this negative 2. Now the letters are on here, the numbers need to be on this side, so this one's in the wrong place. So I need to take away a 6 because this is a positive 6. And x will equal negative 3. This one's a little bit different because you can see the division sign doesn't go all the way across. It's only the 5x that's being divided. So there's a few ways of starting this, but what I'd suggest you do is remove this first. So I have to add 1. So I'm going to get 5x divided by 3 is equal to 1x, because I'm not doing anything to the x's, but I am adding 1 to the number terms. So that's going to be 6. Now, this is being divided by 3, so I can't move any of these x's yet, so I'm going to times by 3, just like before. Remember, timesing by 3 and dividing by 3 cancel each other out. So it'll be 5x, 3 of those, and 3 of those, so that's 18. Let's get rid of this x because it's the smallest. Take away 3x from both sides. We'll have 2x is 18. And I'm sure at this point you're quite happy to say x is 9. Now, there's one more to show you. It's actually easier than those fraction ones. They're the ones that people mostly struggle with. It's this one here. So, if I introduce some brackets, it's just 4 of this bracket. So, 4 of these is 12x's plus 4. 4 of those. And rewrite this bit because we're not doing anything. The x's have the most here, so we need to remove this one by subtracting 10x. So it gives me 2x plus 4 is equal to 18. X's are here, so this number's in the wrong place, so let's get rid of it. 2x is equal to 14, and now x is 7. So my advice when you're doing these, just try and keep your equals in nice straight lines like I did on every single one of those examples. It just helps separate the left-hand side and the right-hand side.